Okay, my folks are back. Now, you all know Miami is one of my favorite cities for loving hip hop. Listen, we ain't going to waste no whole bunch of time. Roll the tape. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is season 3, episode 1. Like I said, Miami is one of my favorite sets for Love and Hip Hop. I was so happy to actually see that they were coming back because there were rumors when we ended out last time that Miami wasn't actually going to come back. So I was real happy when I actually saw the little plug that my folks was coming back. I was like, okay, cool. Now we actually opened the season with, it was sad, very, very sad, but it opened with Trina's mom's homegoing. So I was kind of glad that they kind of hurried it up and moved right on through that. It was really pretty and everything like that, but she was just so sad. Then I've actually seen stuff, in real time as well, where she just wasn't handling it well. She's having a rough time with that. Most people actually do. Just strange to see her in that place. And it kind of made her make different decisions on some things. Like there was some little stuff that happened with her in the public that I don't think would have happened under normal circumstances, and just different things like that. So very, very sad. For Trina and, her mom, rest in peace to her mother. Let's just move on from that. Then we go right to my girl, Amara Negra. Child, she done finally bought a home for her and her mother. Didn't shock me that they would actually be staying there together. It's a big old house. Cute. But then there's a new person in the house. MJ. He come bopping down to the kitchen with a towel on, and now MJ's not bad on the eyes. That's where the hell he come from. This is Amara's new boyfriend. It's her new boyfriend. And guess who he's related to? Shay. I said, well, looky here. Little ugly. I said, okay. And it's funny because it's one of them little strange things, like when you look at MJ and you look at Shay, they favor, you can tell that they're related, but it's one of them situations where the looks are just better for a boy than they are for a girl. Sorry, Shay. But anyway, so I said, oh. So I immediately said, how's this going to work? Especially for Amara. Anybody having to be in-laws with Shay is a whole issue. But especially Amara, like, okay, I guess if we have to, we will, So that's that. I thought that was interesting. Now let's go on across town over to Trick's house. Said, look like Trick done got overjoyed. Remember, Trina gave Joy the money for the divorce last season. But the divorce is not completely final yet. It's not completely final yet. But I said, okay, so it looks like Trick is over it. He got a new girlfriend. Her name is Nikki Natural. Young girl. She's a rapper as well. Then we find out that she's 2 years celibate. They aren't having sex or anything. And then I just was watching her energy. She's very flirtatious. Well, she's a Miami girl, so she's very flirtatious and very that, It's like, okay, cool. Little teeny bopper little thing going on. But for some reason, I was getting this vibe from her that she seems to kind of want a little bit of smoke with Joy. Nikki, I don't think you do. Like, really, I don't. Doesn't seem smart. Trust me. Trick would be better to tell you than anyone, because if you have smoke with Joy, you're going to have smoke with Trina, which is going to equate to a very short career for you on that whole rap scene over there in Miami. So you may want to rethink that anyway. But yeah, she's a little ridiculous. So I said, I don't know, I got my eye on you, Nikki. So moving on. Trick has opened up a restaurant called Sundays. It's a soul food restaurant. Now y'all know Trick Throwdown. We've been seeing Trick throw together some parties and throw together some food. He finally got his place open. Everything looks like it's going to be really, really nice. He put together, he loves to do this thing with this giving back to the community. Now, that's one thing that they show that you see about Trick. Trick has no problem spending his money coming out and feeding the whole community and bringing everybody together. He will do it, and he put his name on it, and the folks will show up. Every time they do one of those little things, it's like packed out, and it's not like a Mona Scott pack out. It's like packed out. You see real people in the background, baby, and they're eating and having a good old time while they're filming all around. But there are a bunch of what we'll call civilians really having a good time you can tell they're really from the neighborhood. So I love those things that they do in Miami. Again, I've explained this before. I really like Love and Hip Hop Miami because it has a very youthful overtone to it, and it's exciting. It is, and then I just love their culture. You know what I mean? They so ghetto and ratchet, which is kind of funny, but they're very young and they like to party. And that's like, I love it. So that's why Miami's one of my faves, and I'm so here for it. So glad they're back. Anyway, so we're looking, and I had to laugh because Trick is simple. Guess who he had hired to work at Sundays? Alvin. Do you all remember who Alvin is? Alvin is Trina's old assistant that was talking all that shit that Trina fired, and now you over there frying chicken for Trick. And the way they actually brought you in, they actually explained, everybody need a job, which means that you was doing bad, Alvin, and you had to come and bow down and really humble yourself to go work for Trick frying chicken. That's a hell of a downslope. Frying chicken from being Trina's assistant. I said, baby, you better than me, but you got to pay your bills. I get it. So, okay, rolls up. Bobby's back. Amara, Shay, and MJ all come up. And the subject of JoJo comes up. JoJo's still on the outs with everybody. Still on the outs with everybody. Shay really ain't got it for JoJo, okay? Which I understand. See, that whole thing with Pleasure and Joe, that was just foul. That was really foul. But what I'm noticing is that Shay is already in a mindset of making Amara choose between her and JoJo. We all know Amara is a very forgiving person, and her and JoJo were really close. She was hurt by that whole thing of JoJo saying that her mom had put a root on her and all that stuff, but Amara would move through that. That's, she's that. I had no question that she would move through that. But we got Shay, and Shay is kind of trying to make Amara choose. And I was like, how far is she going to push this? Knowing Shay, she's going to push it all the way to the limit. So then we see this chick, Primadonna, and they brought her in, but we didn't really talk about her. But the way that they brought her into the screen, I was like, I'll keep my eye open because I'm sure we're going to run back into you again. She's friends with Nikki Natural. So they actually came. Nikki had this where's joy is joy here energy going. And I was like, why? But she come in there with that bull crap. Then we look up. Here go Bobby, starts stirring the pot. And then Alvin was helping to stir the pot a little bit. And then we ended up having the meeting of Nikki and Joy. And Joy basically clowns Nikki. whenever it comes up that, yes, this is Nikki, this is Trick's new woman, this, that, thing, and the other. And then when they said, oh no, they're not intimate or anything. They've been together for all these months and they're not intimate. Child Joy just busts out laughing. I was like, I knew Nikki had to feel like a Ritz cracker that had been flipped on his back. I was just like, girl, well, you wanted to go over there for all that. And then Alvin made it even worse and crunched the cracker up with the heel of his shoe when he just bust out, was like, Trick's still in love with Joy anyway. I said, what? Alvin, you still messy as hell. Said it right in her face. I said, and everybody laughing and keying. I was like, better you than me, sis. That was bad. That was really, really bad. All right, so that was what went down at the little community party, the community little food festival. Then we go to JoJo's premiere. She has this premiere and release party. She actually is partnered with Zara and Tommy Hilfiger. So she's back and her business is starting to move and everything. Bobby is actually there. She talks to Bobby and she basically is telling Bobby how she basically misses Amara. She had this dress on, and the dress, it was like a wrap style dress. It was a gown. Cute, but too little. Classic JoJo. Too little. It had a real high side slit, but you could see her whole panty. And her panties were black. I would have thought that being able to see the panty was cool if they were gold and, like sparkly, the same fabric as the dress or something, like it was purpose. I mean, because we are in Miami, so it would have been cool. Like it would have been like more of like a swimwear cover-up kind of effect, but just in an evening wear thing. She's a little tacky, so I would have let it slide. But no, she had on some old black drawers. And I was like, so your dress is just a size or two too small is what's really going on. All right, girl, whatever. Strange. Anyway, she's planning on going to Amara's release party for her new single. So she's like, hopefully we'll get to talk and, this, that, thing, and the other. So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking to myself, the two of them must have been in some kind of contact because she seemed very upbeat about everything like that. So I was like, okay, cool. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Joy and Trina are having a little chat. And that's when Trina was kind of going over how she's not okay, with the situation with her mom passing and all that. She's like, I ain't never going to be okay. And Joy's like, yeah, you will. It's just going to take some time. But then they start talking about Jillian. Y'all remember Jillian? The manager, Jillian? The one that's manager for Amara. Well, there was this whole little kerfuffle for about $300,000 in advance that Jillian had gotten. And it was really supposed to be some type of a venture that was a group venture with him and Trina to actually do like a label or whatever. And Trina is in the midst of her mom's sickness and all that. Her mom hadn't passed yet. And it looks like, Julian had used the whole situation to his advantage and kept Trina in the dark for the most part. And when she know anything, Mama done passed away. Now she getting cease and desist letters from producers and shit. Her album was pulled down from all the media. And next thing you know, she's basically been pulled out of the deal altogether. And Jillian has just stole this $300,000 off of her. And ain't nothing been talked about and they ain't seen each other. So Trina's really like, well, it's all about his head on a platter whenever I do run into him. But we got some proceedings going on. Homeboy got me for $300K. And it's an issue. I said, oh my God. So Amara is having a release party. I said, Lord have mercy. I just got a feeling. If Amara's having a release party, of course Julian's going to be there. We look over, everybody's there. Everybody's there. I love the outfit. Amara has just following her on social media, she always has like the best costumes because her costumes has a very a Latin flair to them. So it's always a lot of uh, beaded fringe and baubles and beads and feathers and just child. She just has the best costumes, and then she got a banging body, and she's just beautiful, and she pulls these things off. But she was real sharp in this black latex. I said, girl, it was a black latex and like a black sheer illusion with a waist trainer and some boots. I said, girl, nasty, nasty, just killing it. I was like, okay, girl. But anyway, come in there. We got Bobby and Shay roll in. Bobby informs Shay that JoJo's actually coming. I said, oh, Lord. She immediately gets an attitude. Amara and MJ, roll through, and Shay starts right in on Amara, and she's doing the absolute most, and like literally like calling Amara a bitch and gave her the finger and threatening her and telling her, you know what, how could you even do that? How could you even invite her if she show up and you even act like you want to make up with her? It's going to be the worst thing. I was like, girl, you're doing worse than what I thought you were going to do. You are doing the most at this point. It was a mess. It was like, okay. So that was that. Then MJ starts, Amara goes on and she's greeting her guests and carried on. MJ tries to talk to Shay, and she told him, I want you to stay out of it because you're going to find yourself in a position where you're going to have to choose between me and Amara. I'm like, Shay, girl, that's ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. And then she left. She left. Shortly after that, JoJo shows up, and then Amara and JoJo actually have a conversation for the first time they've seen each other in months. They're having a conversation, and then Amara did something that kind of bothered me. You backpedaled, and you pussy popped. I didn't like it, but she tells JoJo, I rewatched after we talked and we decided we were going to kind of try to patch things up. I rewatched like some of the footage of like interviews and different things that you've done over the course of the last few months and that, and I've basically really had a change of heart. I don't think I want to make up with you. The things that were said, I found them really still too hurtful, and I don't think I want to make up with you. And I was like, wow, Amara, that's kind of yuck. And I think a lot of this has to do with Shay. So I just really couldn't respect it. I was like, that ain't even your get down, but I was like, all right, whatever. So I don't know. And then you got to think about it. JoJo ain't really, JoJo has shown herself to be a snake. So do you really want to give up another relationship and your love relationship, and your home life and all of that about JoJo? So I just kind of had to think about it for a little bit. And I was like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of crazy. And then you just didn't have to have her come there to do it. And just seemed a little unnecessary, but very love and hip hop, So I was like, all right, girl, we're going to just roll with it. So she apologized again, and she told JoJo, she said, I believe you only apologize because of the cameras and you need camera time. I said, oh, well, you got a point there. But now you in it, so you will be her storyline. So boom, it works. Anyway, JoJo ended up, she left. And then just when you thought it couldn't get no better, baby, Jillian shows up, honey. And Bobby Lights was like, I said, oh, Lord. And Trina was like, looking, baby, and that's where we actually cut out. Now, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, that was it for this episode. But you all know, I ain't said it in this review, but y'all know Jocelyn Hernandez has touched down at home, and she is in it in Miami, and she is part of the cast, and I got a feeling we're going to run into her next week. I'm so excited to see who is Jocelyn going to be paired up with, who does she know, Who is she going to be running with? It's going to be very interesting to see the Puerto Rican princess in her real habitat carrying on down in Miami. This is going to be interesting. But yeah, we ended out with Jillian showing up, and him and Trina, I guess, are going to face each other for the first time. This is going to be interesting. And Amara doesn't know anything about what's going on. And I looked at Jillian. He looked a little off center to me. Like something don't look right. He looked a little left of center. He always had a little slick look to him, but he looked a little left of center. Like he kind of just spinning. I don't know. Might have just been me. Y'all let me know in the comments. But I'll talk to y'all next week. Later.